Hello and welcome to France 24's Euro 2020 show. England have beaten Denmark to reach their first final at a major tournament since 1966. A final where they will face Italy. A long, hard match at Wembley and a fortuitous penalty gave England the win in extra time against a brave Danish team who leave the tournament with their heads held high. James Vassina joins me to look back at this game and to look ahead at the final. James, thank you very much for joining us. Well, where to start? An England team that beat Denmark. Denmark took the lead. England came back. And then the penalty. What are your thoughts on that game?
Yeah, sensational. I mean, you could see England, coming in from the last games. The pressure was on. And when they did concede that goal, they came back very, very quickly. I don't know whether it was in the 10 minutes coming on after that, but they didn't let themselves down from it. It didn't dampen the mood, and they kept everything going. Southgate clearly, having this team on the pitch, knowing very much where they're going. Now, obviously, they were coming up against a very, very, very defensive Denmark at that point. Denmark, who often play with a back three, I think at some point here it was more of a back 10, making it very difficult to find that space really to get through. But when England did find that space, there were several times where they huge opportunities. I mean, great saves from Schmeichel, of course, but it made it very, very tough.
Particularly in the second half, because we've got to say in the first half, it seemed Denmark, right until Simon Kjær scored the own goal in the 39th, you kind of got the feeling that Denmark were really in control of that game, really restricting England to scraps.
Yeah, and I think the second half, I mean, everything really went on fire. I mean, it was brilliant. And Kjær, we talk about him. He was there when Denmark needed him, saved some crucial opportunities. He was in there for Denmark. And yeah, I think England were really put to the test, and we could feel it this side. I don't think anyone would have predicted this going so far. I mean, I know we didn't predict it going so far as to extra time. And even when we were in it, it was going to go. You could feel like the game was going to go one side or the other. When they were 1-1, we were like, no, this can't be going to extra time. It can't be going to penalties. Someone has to score because both teams were out there. And that second half was electric because they both wanted it. As you say, England was really coming back, and it was a great play from both sides. Very, very entertaining game. I mean, the crowd at Wembley you could just hear them the whole day long. We heard the songs, we heard everything. Great game to watch, absolutely.
Great game to watch. Enthralling, but a little bit of contention with the penalty, James.
Yeah.
I'm glad I'm coming to you with this one. Simply, is it a penalty?
It's not. I mean, from our view, from where we're watching it, I know we're not in the stadium, we're not on the pitch, but from what we've seen, I can't see where there's a penalty there. I mean, yes, okay, there's a little touch, but we've said there's a dive. And should that have been a card more than anything else? I think for the Danes to see that must feel very, very hard. To get so far in the competition, everything they've had to go through, and especially the performances that they've put on against England again tonight, which is, we have to say, a great, great team. But that must feel very, very hard for them. I mean, Kane does a great job. I mean, the penalty first bouncing
off. It's a bad penalty.
But he's following well after that. And Schmeichel tries as well too. He jumps the other side, tries to get things quick. Again, I think that's all. It's a representation again of this game because everything was just the energy was flowing up in the air from either side. But why there was a VAR check? How did it come to that? I mean,
well, we'll talk about VAR a little bit later. Certainly, the big news, though, of the day is, of course, that England have qualified for their first final since 1966 when they beat West Germany at the time, to win their first and only major tournament, the World Cup in '66. James, if we look at the results of England throughout the tournament, if we look at the way they've progressed, this is going to be a fantastic achievement for Gareth Southgate in particular. Right?
Yeah, it's an achievement. We've seen how far they've gone in the previous tournaments, and once again, this is an achievement just arriving so far, just as it was an achievement for the Danes. And yeah, we've seen. I mean, okay, yes, of course, it was that first own goal, but it was going to go in just afterwards anyway. I mean, Kjær could not do much.
And if we look at the results throughout the tournament, and the way England have progressed throughout the tournament, a very dry group stage, and then seemingly going strength for strength. Again, today we saw a different side of England, the side that perhaps had to chase a goal and got the goal.
Well, I mean, very simply, that clean sheet has gone. I mean, 5 games, no one getting past England's defence. Huge success, the defence from England, who's been the subject of many, many debates over a long time. Clearly, that has been sorted out. Tonight, yes, Denmark got through it. They've been the first team to do it, a very spirited team. But we've seen the progression. You can see it just, I mean, it's a very simple way to look at it, but you look at the numbers, you start in 1-0, 1-0, 2-0, 4-0. It's going. Everything was going their way. And obviously that win against Germany, I mean, at Wembley again, great spirit for the team. It's going to promise to be a very good, very entertaining final, that's for sure. It's going to be really interesting to see how it plays out. However, whether England's going to manage to cope well with it, it's going to be another big challenge like it was tonight, isn't it?